In this vid, I'm going to show you how to make crispy golden brown potato pancakes with homemade applesauce. So potato pancakes, or Latkes, are one of the few Jewish foods that I can actually recall eating at a specific time, and that time is Hanukkah. There's just like a bunch of other Jewish foods that just sort of get lost in the canon, and I don't know which one goes with which holiday, but Latkes, they're specific to Hanukkah. Ask any kid what their favorite part of Hanukkah is. Besides the presents, it's gonna be Latkes. And like any other traditional recipe on planet Earth, there are many ways to make Latkes. One household's gonna tell you it's done this way, while the other something just completely different. However, in this video today, I've decided to skip over the Latke dogma and make something delicious and simple. Alright, first let's make the applesauce. If you don't know how to make applesauce, it's almost laughably simple. Peel and dice some apples, add a dash of water, and just cook them down, then puree. It's literally like, that's all you do. Use a sweet apple for this, so think Fuji, Honeycrisp, or Gala, just to name a few popular choices, just so that you don't have to add any sugar. I'm just using 4 medium-sized apples here, and once you have those prepped, go ahead and add them to a saucepan over medium heat. Then in with a 1/3 cup of water, a pinch of salt, then just cover with a lid, let them go. Cooking these little sweet babies down to the right consistency shouldn't take more than 10 or 15 minutes. Once the apples are steamed and begin to look translucent, cut the heat. From here, you can either toss the apples in a blender, or if you have one, just blitz them in the pan with an immersion or stick blender, sort of like this. Now just pop that sauce in a sealable container and place it in the fridge, lid off, to chill down. Okay, Latke time. My tater of choice for Latkes is the good old russet, sometimes called an Idaho potato. Russets are low in moisture and high in starch, which makes them top tier frying potatoes. Yukon Golds work fine too, but I like russets for this. Our 4 taters are peeled, now it's time to grate. And you can do this a number of ways. If you have a good old box grater, just go ahead and use that. But you could use one of these, but if you have a food processor, now is the time to whip it out. Whoa, that's production value. No matter which processor you have, use the coarse grate attachment or the one with the bigger holes if you can. Lay the potato in the food processor horizontally. This cool little trick is going to yield you gorgeous long strands of tater that will give our Latkes sort of a beautiful, wispy, crunchy shoestring potato-like outer rim. See what I mean? Gorgy. In a large bowl with the potatoes, dump in a 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour, 2 whole beaten eggs, then just salt and pepper to taste. Give that a mix by hand and make sure everything is melded together nicely. So a lot of the times when people make Latkes, they don't use enough fat. It's really important to use enough fat so you can get a proper fry on your Latkes. So to fry, I'm going to use a little bit of a neutral oil with a high smoke point and some chicken fat, also called schmaltz, for the flavor. Pour the fat into a wide pan with high-sided walls, then bring it up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 204 Celsius over medium-high heat. I'm using grapeseed oil, which has a higher smoke point than chicken fat, so mixing the two together will raise the overall smoke point of the mixture, making sure that the fat doesn't burn. And if your taters get a little pink, that's totally okay. They're gonna get super crispy anyways, it really doesn't matter. Once the oil's ready, grab a small handful of the taters, and if they're a bit wet, just lightly squeeze them out. And also remember, moisture is the enemy of brown food. Shape the Latkes into something that resembles an undersized potato frisbee, then carefully lay them boys in the oil. You can also use a spatula to do this if you want. Unfortunately, there's no magic time to give for the perfect Latke. A number of factors are going to come into play, but if you use enough oil and gently fry the Latkes until they're deeply golden brown, you'll be a happy boy and or girl. As with most things fresh out of frying oil, don't forget to hit them with a little bit of salt. Then just rinse and repeat, and before you know it, you'll have arrived in Latke land. Population, you. Sorry about that. If you think about it, Latkes are probably more closely related to fritters than pancakes, but, nonetheless, these Latkes should leave you with a mega crispy shoestring potato-like circumference while still having the bite and taste of a true Latke. See what I mean? The starches in the potato work together to give the Latkes some real body. Of course, I'm serving these with our homemade applesauce. To contrast that, instead of going the traditional sour cream route, I'm going to reach for the Creme Fraiche. Creme Fraiche is a 2-ingredient, ultra-rich, lightly fermented cream product from France. So think sour cream, but 10 times richer, a little tangier, and a lot more interesting. It's super easy to make at home. I'll link a video if you want to have a go at making that yourself. Ooh, she pretty. Go for the applesauce if you prefer a cool down of something bright, sweet, and slightly acidic, or the creme fraiche if you want something luscious and creamy. Or, just make a suicide latke and go for both. Do your thing, no judgment regardless. Refreshing. Creme fraiche. So good. Or the doubler. Whoop. This brings me back, man. Latkes are the best. The smell of that frying oil with the potatoes alone it's just enough to take me back. Take me back to my youth. I grew up in a culturally Jewish American household. While my family definitely isn't the most religious bunch, they are quite religious about Jewish food come holiday time. Brisket, latkes, matzo ball soup, the works, all those things are always a big deal. I really hope you guys liked this video. I know I really enjoyed making it. And if you really dug this video, you might like what I'm doing over on Instagram. I post some of my every day-to-day stuff on my stories. And over on my TikTok, I post more ADD, fast form, short videos. So go peep those other accounts if you want to watch me make a fool out of myself on the internet in a different part of the internet. Regardless, I will see you beautiful babies next week. Happy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa.